बताइए
केसेस सीरियल नंबर 3
बताइए।
These two cases pertains to the Enemy Property Act, my lord,
जी
and there is only one pivotal point involved in these cases, my lord,
जी
that whether Shah Dulan Aftab Jahan Begum, who was the second wife of Nawab Hamidullah Khan, was a Pakistani citizen or not.
जी
There is only one point. My lord, there is unimpeachable and ample evidence on record, which, my lord, unerringly proves that she was a British national, my lord, and she was never a Pakistani national. She never migrated to Pakistan. So, without any factual foundation or legal foundation, my lord, the custodian of enemy property that comes under the Home Ministry, my lord, had issued a letter to the collector Bhopal, my lord, to immediately take over possession of the properties belonging to the petitioners, my lord. Petitioner is the nephew of Aftab Jahan Begum, my lord,
जी
and she was issueless. She had gifted this property to the petitioner and he is a recorded Bhumi Swami, my lord. So no notice whatsoever was
आफ्ताब जहां बेगम had
Shah Dulan Aftab Jahan
है
Begum.
क्या
Shah Dulan Aftab
Shah?
Jahan Dulan
दुल्हन
Aftab Jahan Begum.
शाह दुल्हन आफ्ताब जहां बेगम।
She was second wife, younger wife of Nawab Hamidullah.
नहीं वो ठीक है
जी. Now, my lord, मैं kind
कि गिफ्ट डीड है इनके पक्ष में,
हाँ वो लगाई हुई है.
रजिस्टर्ड गिफ्ट डीड है।
मुस्लिमों में बन जाता है and that's recognized by the Supreme Court.
नहीं वो तो ठीक है, हिवानामा होता है,
जी.
ठीक है।
And he, my lord, is they say that she has the basis of this impugn order is some letter by Aftab Jahan Begum which was written in the year 1977. That's a forged letter, my lord, and that she has abdicated all her properties, my lord. Hence, it should be taken over, my lord.
जी
No original was produced, my lord, and even original doesn't exist, my lord.
ठीक।
So some a busybody, that is respondent number 5, whom I have made a party by name, my lord, had made a false complaint to all the right from Prime Minister to Chief Justice and all, my lord,
जी
that this property belongs to Aftab Jahan Begum. She had adopted the Pakistani citizenship. So this becomes the enemy property. You please take over, my lord.
जी
Now, my lord, may kindly first see the impugn order annexure P1,
जी
that is at page 29.
जी
My lord,
जी
ये इसके साइड मैंने दल भी गठित कर दिया है कब्जा लेने के लिए, इसलिए नोटिंग है. श्री अविनाश लावनिया IAS, डिस्ट्रिक्ट कलेक्टर, डिस्ट्रिक्ट मजिस्ट्रेट, सो भोपाल, मध्य प्रदेश में. This is to bring to your kind notice that Srimati Aftab Jahan Begum, second wife of Nawab Hamidullah Khan, Nawab of Bhopal, who migrated to Pakistan in the 1960s after the death of her husband on 4/2/1960, owned and left behind several immovable properties of very high value in Sihor, Raisen, Khanugaon, Kohe Fiza, Idgah Hills, Lal Ghati, Sant Hirdarani Nagar, Halalpur, Laukheri, Borwan, Behta, Nishatpura, Shahpura, Sevania Ground and Kotan Aswal Estate of Bhopal. Besides the building Riaz Mandir. Riaz Mandir is the residence of the petitioner. Along with compound, outhouses and fixtures was gifted to her by Nawab Hamidullah, her husband, as is substantiated by some documents from the files. So and so, this gift is recorded in Sarfe Khas. As per revenue records of 1959 of the state government, 80 properties in Behta and 6 in Borwan stand recorded in the name of Begum Aftab Jahan Begum. None of her properties can be treated as evacuee property as she migrated to Pakistan in 1960s, much after 7/5/1954, the cutoff date for identification of evacuee properties. These are all enemy properties belonging to Government of India under the management of SEPI, custodian of enemy property for India. It is understood that Srimati Aftab Jahan Begum wrote on, this is important, my lord, 2/5/1977
जी जी
to Government of India that she migrated to Pakistan in the 1960s and that her properties in India should be taken over by the central government.
जी
As ex officio deputy custodian of enemy property under the provisions of the Enemy Property Act 1968, you are hereby directed to immediately take over all properties belonging to Srimati Aftab Jahan Begum after conducting a survey for the properties. A comprehensive report in this regard may please be sent to the office at the earliest. Since the properties are of very high value, top priority may please be given to the cases. The relevant correspondence in this regard is enclosed for necessary action, please.
जी
And the collector immediately constituted a team, my lord.
जी
That is at page 29. निम्न दल गठित किया जाता है. And on 59/2021, this team visited our residence and started telling that hand over the position, my lord. So we immediately rushed to the High Court, my lord, and this honorable court was gracious enough to grant us a stay, my lord.
जी
Now, my lord, the basis that she had migrated to Pakistan and she was a Pakistan national is my lord, false in toto, my lord. There is no basis, my lord.
जी
And this fact stands proved from various documents. First is Annexure P2, that is at page 31, my lord. May kindly
Yes.
see. This is a document which shows that she was a British national, my lord. My lord, has it, my lord?
यस
First number पे है सर हर हाइना शाह दुल्हन आफ्ताब जहां बेगम भोपाल strong group Edward Middlesex. I'm of full age and capacity and born at Bhopal, India. She was born in India, my lord,
जी
on 12th May 1919. My father's full name was Mahmood Hassan Khan,
Ji.
and he was born at Kunjpura, India on 2nd November 19.
जी
Her parents were also Indian citizens. She is also Indian, born in India, my lord.
1919 में
जी
और 1894 में तो पाकिस्तान बना ही नहीं था.
हाँ नहीं बना पर ये
कि इतिहास की याद
हाँ
दिलाने के लिए.
जी जी
जी
Now, my lord, may kindly see point 5.
हाँ
I am a citizen of the following Commonwealth countries mentioned in subsection 3 of section 1 of the British Nationality Act 1948. That is to say, Republic of India.
जी
This was the declaration, my lord.
जी जी
When she applied for citizenship of Britain, my lord.
जी
So she had disclosed this fact that I am a citizen of India, my lord.
जी
There is nothing on record, my lord, to show
जी
that she was a Pakistani national or ever migrated to Pakistan, my lord. I have made that statement on affidavit. And my lord, there is a site of the Home Ministry known as www.nationalarchives.nic.in, my lord.
जी
The mention of which finds in para 5.7 of my memo of writ petition, my lord.
जी
My lord, these are the correspondences which were made between the Aftab Jahan Begum and the Home Ministry, my lord, that time, my lord.
जी
And this unerringly proves that she was a British national and not a Pakistani national, my lord. And this correspondence is of their own department, my lord,
जी
of Home Ministry, under which the Custodian of Enemy Property Acts, my lord.
जी
Now, my lord, may kindly see page of these correspondences. Page 39, my lord. This is a letter written by Aftab Jahan Begum. Some Mr. Vishwanathan, he was some officer in Home Ministry, my lord. And prior to that, my lord, may kindly see the, I'm sorry, page 38 may first kindly be seen, my lord.
38 yes
This is Mr. Vishwanathan from Home Ministry, my lord, writing a letter to Aftab Jahan Begum.
जी
My dear Begum Sahiba, reports have reached us that your Highness has given up your Indian citizenship and that you have acquired British nationality, and further that your Highness has also taken out a British passport, and that you go to the United Kingdom frequently and spend most of your time there. Will you kindly let us know whether there is any truth in these reports? If it is true that your Highness has given up your Indian citizenship, we shall have to consider the question whether the allowance of rupees 50,000 per annum which is being paid to you should be continued or withheld.
जी
The reply is on next page, my lord,
जी
by Aftab Jahan Begum. My dear Vishwanathan, I am in receipt of your letter dated 18th August 1964. So and so, my lord, I give the following facts in answer to your queries, my lord. It is true that I have acquired British nationality and have also taken out a British passport. But it would not be correct to say that I spend most of my time in UK. The fact is that I spend about 6 months to 7 months in Bhopal, and the rest of the year I divide between United Kingdom and Pakistan. As regards the reason,
ये क्या है ये
टाइम वो पाकिस्तान भी जाती थी बीच में, इंडिया में भी आती. A British national can own property in India and Pakistan also. But there are only two enemy countries in the entire world, that is China and India, my lord, after the wars had happened with both of them, my lord. A British national can acquire a property in India, can have property in India, and as well as Pakistan. There is no inhibition in law.
A British national without obtaining visa from the Indian government can visit India for any period of time.
No, that
नहीं
उस वक्त कुछ होगा सर
नहीं,
इनका
होगा तो वो आपको रिसर्च करके आनी चाहिए ना,
जी
तो आप बताएंगे इट इज योर केस.
नो इट इज देयर केस
अरे भाई,
जी
ये जो लेटर में लिखा है, where she says that I spent about 6 to 7 months in Bhopal.
यस
After accepting this fact that in 1962 she obtained British citizenship, were required to show that British persons holding British passport were allowed to stay in India without any visa.
no that is
That
not
I mean that you are
मतलब
required to.
that is not a controversy here, my lord. So that's why we did not. Otherwise, everything was done in accordance with law, my lord. Para 2, my lord. As regards the reason for my acquiring British nationality, I would like to explain more fully to you personally. And in this connection, may I request to let me know as to when should be convenient for you to give me some time at the Ministry of Home Affairs at New Delhi. But before I personally have the occasion to meet you, I might briefly state that the compelling reason for the change of nationality was financial difficulties. I am being given rupees 50,000 per annum out of rupees 6,70,000 only, sanctioned as privy purse of the new ruler of Bhopal. Out of this amount of rupees 50,000, 30 to 34,000 is being utilized by me in settling my tax liabilities in India. I am thus left with only rupees 16 to 20,000 per annum to maintain my quota, my staff, and the living standard that I was accustomed. You will appreciate that that amount is hardly sufficient to enable me to pass 6 to 7 months out of an year in Bhopal. Rest of the period I have necessarily to pass in UK and in Pakistan. I could hardly think that there would be any objection to my acquiring British nationality, UK being a head of the Commonwealth to which India also belongs. I have acquired British nationality 2 years ago, and at the time I also surrendered my Indian passport to the Indian embassy in UK. I believe this fact was well within the knowledge of the Indian government and no objection was raised. My nephew, whom I have adopted as my son, is also in UK, and I have taken up British nationality to facilitate my being with him for some time of the year. Now, last paragraph, page 41.
जी,
Next page,
just a minute.
Yeah.
ये 41 years.
Page 41, paragraph 5.
जी.
In this context of what is said above, I think it is clear that the question of my becoming a British citizen would not affect the question of my previous or his portion being paid to me by way of maintenance allowance, so long I continue to be a member of the family of the ruler. There would seems to be no condition attached to the grant of maintenance allowance to any member of the royal family that the member must continue to retain Indian nationality. Now, my lord, may kindly see page 47. It's a letter written by the then Chief Secretary of MP, my lord, to Mr. Vishwanathan, Secretary of Government of India, Ministry of Home Affairs. Page 47.
जी.
My dear so-and-so, after the death of Her Highness Nawab Muhammad Hamidullah Khan, Nawab of Bhopal on February 4, 1960, the Government of India sanctioned a privy purse of rupees 6.7 lakhs to the present ruler, Her Highness Meherta Sajid Sultan Begum, after which she is to receive rupees 5 lakhs, and the balance is to be paid as maintenance allowance to the senior Dowagar Begum, to the junior Dowagar Begum, and to the younger sister of the new ruler.
कहाँ पढ़ रहे हैं आप, किस पेज पे पढ़ रहे हैं?
47, sir.
जी.
It's a letter written by then Chief Secretary, my lord, to the Secretary of Government of India.
हाँ,
In this, it is stated clearly that she had acquired the British nationality. There is no mention of Pakistan acquiring of Pakistan's citizenship. It is their own documents, my lord, available for entire world to see on the website, their website. My lord.
जी,
Next, my lord, page 48, 49 may kindly be
हाँ
seen.
जी,
This is a letter written to by Ministry of Home Affairs to Aftab Jahan Begum. Dear Begum Sahiba, will your Highness kindly refer to your letter dated 5th September 1964 to the Union Home Minister in view of the fact that your Highness has relinquished the citizenship of India and assumed British nationality. The Government of India have decided that the maintenance allowance of rupees 50,000 per annum should no longer be paid to you. Instruction to this effect have been issued to the Accountant General Madhya Pradesh with kind regards. So the very basis of the impugned order annexure P1 that she had migrated to the Pakistan and she had acquired Pakistani citizenship, my lord, has no legs to stand. My lord. This is their own document.
ठीक, चलिए, yes,
Now, my lord, there are two or three more documents. Now, the basis for which, my lord, we inquired and we went to the collectorate after the team had visited our residence, my lord,
जी,
and they said that the respondent number 5, Mr. Beragi, had produced some letter of 2/5/1977.
जी,
The mention of which also finds mention in अक्षर P1 में लॉट कि 2/5/77 का उन्होंने चिट्ठी लिखी है जिससे उन्होंने ये अपनी सारी संपत्ति हिंदुस्तान की छोड़ दी है.
जी,
Now this is a forged letter में लॉट.
कहाँ है
Apparent
वो letter?
ये पेज 80 पे है. ये फोटो को
80,
80 में
जी,
उनकी कंप्लेंट लगाई है जिसमें he has leveled very defamatory allegations against the petitioner and his brother.
बताइए, पढ़िएगा ना,
Letter sir.
हाँ,
Letter is at page my lord 76, P14. Right from Prime Minister, Home Minister, Chief Justice of India.
पेज 80 पर आप पढ़ रहे थे, पेज 80 पढ़िएगा.
जी, पेज 80 का ये जो लेटर है सर, ये सेक्रेटरी is allegedly said to be written by आफ्ताब जहां बेगम. ये फोर्ज इसलिए है सर कि एक तो ओरिजिनल इसका प्रोड्यूस नहीं हुआ और सेकेंडली मिलोड में काइंडली सी द सील. शत्रु संपत्ति अभिरक्षक कार्यालय मुंबई 1977 में तो मुंबई तो 1995 में नाम हुआ है.
कहाँ पे पढ़ रहे हैं आप?
पेज 80 में लौट.
पेज 80 में कराची पाकिस्तान लिखा हुआ है, पढ़िएगा जरा ऊपर.
हाँ, तो ये लेटर जो है 2590 they say that it has been written by आफ्ताब जहां बेगम
हाँ,
relinquishing her
ऑफिसर इंचार्ज कस्टोडियन ऑफ एनईवी प्रॉपर्टीज,
yes मिनिस्ट्री ऑफ होम गवर्नमेंट ऑफ इंडिया
न्यू दिल्ली. मुंबई कहाँ पढ़ा आपने?
ये सील लगी है सर.
कहाँ लगी है सील?
नीचे इस पेज पे
कॉन्सुलेट में दिया होगा, ये कॉन्सुलेट में दिया होगा इन्होंने.
मिलोड ये जो सील है इनका कहना है कि 2/5/77 का चिट्ठी है.
79 पे
है तुम्हारे इसमें सील है.
पेजिंग गड़बड़ 79. जी, फिर
ये सील जो है शत्रु संपत्ति अभिरक्षक कार्यालय मुंबई लिखा हुआ है.
ठीक है.
77 में मुंबई था ही नहीं. There was no Mumbai did not exist, my lord. Mumbai name was given by Shesana in the year 1995, my lord.
जी,
Number one, even if it is presumed that she has written a letter, even because original is not with anyone, my
जी,
lord.
जी,
Now, my lord, she had been paying estate duty and all till 1990, my lord. Till before her death also. Had she relinquished her properties or left for Pakistan and written this letter,
जी,
she would not have been paying lakhs and lakhs of rupees of estate duty, my lord.
जी, कहाँ?
That document is Chalan is at annexure P15, page 81, my lord.
जी,
Next page.
yes,
This is a Chalan And next is the certificate by State Bank of India that
कब
estate duty.
डेथ हुई है इनकी?
सर इनकी डेथ हुई है that I have to check, my lord.
डेट बताएंगे ना आप? क्योंकि तो इसमें 98 की भी एक लगी हुई है।
हाँ बाद में ही मरी है सर।
नहीं, बाद में कब डेथ हुई है?
जी वो मैं चेक पूछ के बता दूँ।
जी, क्या उनसे, बेगम से?
नहीं उनके जो पिटिशनर है उनसे
अच्छा
पूछ के बता दूँ।
अच्छा।
Now, my lord, Annexure P16 is the certificate
जी
of challan, my lord.
जी
Then page 84, 85, Annexure P17 is the sale deed, sold also certain properties, my lord. That sale deed is dated 26/1974. फिर next page Annexure P18, 87, 89, my lord,
जी
is the order of land acquisition officer granting, giving her compensation, awarding compensation, my lord,
जी जी
for 121.13 acres of land of Eidgah Deoli, my lord,
जी
acquired under section 8 of the RAIP Act, my lord.
जी। व्हाट इज RAIP एक्ट?
मिलिट्री वालों के लिए कुछ
अच्छा, तो नाम होगा ना उसका एक्ट का?
डिफेंस डिपार्टमेंट ने एक्वायर की तो उन्हीं का कोई एक्ट होता है।
अच्छा ठीक, चलिए फिर।
देन मिलोड पेज 90, दिस इज ए ऑर्डर dated 1996 granting exemption under section 20 of the Sealing Act to Aftab Jahan Begum.
जी
She had been applying, so that letter is apparently, my lord, has no truth.
जी
Now, one of the very important document is, my lord, Annexure P20. This earlier occasion also, the custodian of enemy property had directed the collector Bhopal to make a list of entire enemy properties in Bhopal, my lord.
जी
So a thorough inquiry was conducted, and right from 1940 to 2016, my lord, it was found that there is no enemy property in Bhopal except one Nani Ki Haveli, that is approximately about 7,000 square feet, my lord.
जी
That letter of collector is, my lord, P20, my lord.
जी
ये टाइप कॉपी भी लगाइए।
हाँ
विषयांतर्गत संदर्भित पत्र के माध्यम से प्राप्त निर्देश अंतर्गत दिनांक 5/10/16 को हुई बैठक में प्राप्त निर्देश जानकारी तैयार कर भेज जानी। इस निर्देश के अनुक्रम में भोपाल जिले में स्थित शत्रु संपत्ति की जानकारी एवं शहजादी आबिदा सुल्तान बेगम के नाम से स्थित संपत्ति की जानकारी समस्त तहसीलदारों से प्राप्त की, जिसके अनुसार भोपाल जिले में एकमात्र शत्रु संपत्ति नानी की हवेली निवासी ईदगाह
ठीक है। फिर
भोपाल।
कब एक्वायर कर ली आपकी संपत्ति?
कौन सी सर?
ये एनिमी प्रॉपर्टी एक्ट में कब एक्वायर की आपकी प्रॉपर्टी?
ये अभी 2021 में ये लेटर P1
21 में।
21 में
इसकी अपील प्रोवाइडेड है सेक्शन 18C में।
जी सर,
इसकी अपील प्रोवाइडेड है सेक्शन 18C में।
my lord, for two reasons I have come before this honorable court.
जी।
Firstly, my lord, there is a gross violation of principles of natural justice.
अपील में भी उठा सकते हैं आप, अपील में भी उठा सकते
My lord,
हैं।
उन्होंने दल को भेज दिया घर पे कि आप कब्जा ले लो, तो they ought to have given a notice first, my lord.
Where is the provision for issuance of notice?
There is
this Act of 1968 बताइएगा ना प्लीज।
नहीं, उसमें प्रोविजन नहीं है,
अरे
पर
तो
उसमें सर्टिफिकेट के लिए है, my lord, मैं काइंडली सी सेक्शन 5
पढ़िएगा।
हाँ एक मिनट, जस्ट अ मिनट। He has to first issue a certificate, my lord.
जी
My lord, मैं काइंडली सी पेज 100।
जी
Issue of certificate by custodian, my lord, has it? 5A, my lord, page 100.
Page 100, yes.
Issue of certificate by custodian. The custodian may, after making such inquiry as he deems necessary, by order declare that the property of the enemy or the enemy subject of the enemy firm described in the order vests in him under this act, and issue a certificate to this effect, and such certificate shall be the evidence of the facts stated therein. तो पहले तो सर्टिफिकेट करें, सर्टिफिकेट भी नहीं है, Immediately, he has directed the collector to take over the possession of the property, my lord.
जी
Now they rely upon section 18, my lord,
जी
that there is an alternative remedy.
yes
So my submissions are very short. Submissions are twofold, my lord.
जी
Number one, when there is, as this honorable court is very much aware, my lord, when there is a violation of principles of natural justice,
जी
or an act is ultra virus, or some action is ultra virus the act,
जी
or without jurisdiction, my lord,
जी
then the bar of alternate remedy never arises, my lord.
बताइएगा how it is without jurisdiction.
हाँ. They will get jurisdiction only when it's an enemy property, my lord. If someone says makes a false statement and says that you are a Pakistani citizen and we'll take
Where-
over your property, but there is not an iota of evidence of that, my lord.
आपका
At least-
ब्रिटिश पासपोर्ट आपने लगा दिया इसमें पिटीशन
हाँ,
के साथ में
British pass,
पिटीशन दिखाइएगा ना लास्ट एंट्री दिखाइएगा ब्रिटिश पासपोर्ट की
and their correspondence.
Mr. Counsel, you are required to show the entries in regard to your visit to India, that you were visiting India on a British passport and not on a Pakistani passport. Where,
My humble submission is that there is only one passport. Had she
We
been
don't-
having the in Pakistani passport, they would have annexed that.
there cannot be any presumption.
My lord.
It is your case, you will have to prove the facts.
I have proved, my lord, there is a correspondence between of the Home Ministry
No,
itself.
no, you bring that passport on record, we'll get it verified from the British consulate.
There is one more letter, which recent letter we had written to the British Embassy that I have annexed with that rejoinder, my lord.
जी
Annexure A.
Annexure A.
Yes. Filed with rejoinder.
जी
The son of the petitioner had sent an email to the British government, my lord. वहां से ये जवाब आया है.
कहाँ पर है ये
Annexure A, एक ही annexure है.
हाँ पढ़िएगा ना ये।
Rejoinder. Thank you for your email of 22nd September in which you asked for information regarding your aunt, Aunt Her Highness Aftab Jahan Begum of Bhopal. Your request has been handled as a request for information under the Freedom of Information Act, FOIA. I am Arshad Hassan Khan, India. I am nephew of late Her Highness Aftab Jahan Begum. She had adopted British citizen on 12th July 1960 to attach her citizenship certificate. I am mailing you this letter to get details of my aunt's passport for period of 1962-1982, as I have her passport for 1982-1992 with passport number so and so. I am attaching pictures of her passport for reference. Kindly guide and provide me with the details of her passport or tell me where I can get the details of her passport. Information on UK passport issued to Her Highness Aftab Jahan Begum of Bhopal can be found in the table below. Passport number दिया, date and place of issue 23rd of July 1962 in London. Place and date of birth Bhopal, India 12th May 19. Passport detail उनका नाम दिया.
जी नहीं ये जानकारी कहाँ आई है 62 से 82 तक की
82 अच्छा
और आपने कहा कि 82 से 92 तक का कागज आपके पास में है
जी
कहाँ है वो कागज
वो इसमें नहीं लगा है सर वो लगा
तो इस तरीके से आप हाई कोर्ट में हैं
जी
आप छुपाकर थोड़ा ना चलेंगे
नहीं इसमें छुपाने का कुछ था नहीं
अरे
सर
अरे वो तो
बिकॉज ये
अपील फाइल करिए इसकी फिर
बिकॉज मिलर दे इवन इफ दे
there is a remedy of appeal you file appeal
मिलर देन मे आई प्रे दैट till they decide my appeal, they should not take over any course.
नहीं I'll not say that. That is for the appellate court to say.
My lord,
We'll give you window of 15 days to file appeal.
One submission. All these proceedings, my lord, has not been questioned by the Aftab Jahan Begum. He is the person who is claiming title on the basis of will, which is unregistered. So first he should establish his title.
वो तो वो सब अपील में बताइएगा सब बहस करिएगा
that may be observed.
हाँ ठीक है I'll observe that.
बिल नहीं थी हिबा था.
हाँ जो
हाँ
ये
जो भी है
दान
हिबा भी
और they don't say that I सर वहाँ तो रह रहे हैं और ये in many cases which I have annexed he has been brought.
फिर आपको एक सवाल और बता देते हैं उसकी भी तैयारी कर लीजिएगा लिखा देंगे जब आपने हिबा कर दिया उसके बाद आप 90 और 98 में टैक्स क्यों दे रहे थे ऐसा तो हमने कहीं सुना नहीं है पढ़ा नहीं है कि जो संपत्ति हिबा कर दी गई उसके बाद भी जो है डोनी जो है वो टैक्स देता रहेगा थोड़ा सा इसका भी इसके ऊपर भी जो है आप प्रकाश डाल दीजिएगा हम लिखा देंगे इसमें ठीक है लिखिएगा श्री राजेश पंचोली लर्नेड काउंसिल फॉर द पिटिशनर श्री पुष्पेंद्र Yadav, learned Deputy Solicitor General for Union of India. Shri Amit Sharma, learned Government Advocate for State. This writ petition is filed being aggrieved of order dated 4/8/2021, Annexure P1, passed by Government of India, Ministry of Home Affairs, O/O, the custodian of enemy property for India, New Delhi, acquiring properties of Srimati Aftab Jahan Begum under the provisions of the Enemy Property Act 1968. Next paragraph. It is submitted that petitioner is in possession of the said property on the basis of a memorandum of gift under Muslim Personal Law, Annexure P5, dated 13th July 1974. Full stop. It is submitted that since petitioner was given said properties in Hibanama and was given possession of those properties, therefore, action of the respondents on the basis of some stray communication dated 2/5/1977 made from Karachi, Pakistan to the secretary and officer in charge, custodian of enemy property for India, Ministry of Home Affairs, does not inspire confidence, especially when it bears seal of Office of the Custodian of Enemy Property, Mumbai. Full stop. It is submitted that name Mumbai was given to city Bombay much later, and in 1977 Mumbai was not in existence. That is sufficient proof to create doubt on this communication dated 2/5/1977. It is submitted that in fact Srimati Aftab Jahan Begum was not only selling her property in favor of others till 1974, but was also paying property tax as late as 1990 and was given compensation for the land which was acquired under the provisions of RAIF Act 1952. Full stop. Thus, it is submitted that impugned order be set aside, petition be allowed. Next paragraph. Shri Pushpendra Yadav, learned Deputy Solicitor General for the Union of India, in his turn submits that firstly, said gift deed is unregistered. It is not proved before the court of competent jurisdiction. Secondly, Section 18 C है ना?
18. First, he has to file representation to the center.
Section 18 provides for the mechanism. Section 18 of the Enemy Property Act 1968 provides for the mechanism to deal with such situations. It is submitted that there is also provision for appeal under Section 18-C of the Act of 1968. Therefore, in view of alternative statutory remedy, no indulgence could have been shown by the High Court, oblivious of the fact that there exists an alternative statutory remedy which petitioner was bound to avail. The petitioner is bound to avail. Next para. At this stage, Shri Pancholi submits that there is violation of the principles of natural justice. Provisions of Section 5A of the Act of 1968 were not followed. The order is without authority and jurisdiction. Therefore, there is no requirement of availing alternative statutory remedy. Next para. After hearing learned counsel for the parties and going through the record, certain facts needs re-examination. Firstly, petitioner has not produced copy of his British passport to point out that petitioner nahi, petitioner has not produced British passport of Aftab Jahan Begum to point out that she was traveling to India on the basis of that passport and the visa granted on said passport. Full stop. He has also not produced copy of the Indian passport on the strength of which Aftab Jahan Begum travelled to England in the year 1962 to obtain citizenship of United Kingdom. Full stop. He has also not been able to produce any documentary evidence to show that there was any exemption for the erstwhile rulers to procure an Indian passport before traveling to a foreign country. Full stop. Thirdly, it is not clear that once, as per the assertion made by the petitioner, properties in question were gifted to the present petitioner Ajam Hassan Khan, then what was the provocation for Aftab Jahan Begum to pay property tax, etc., or state duty till 1990 or thereafter? नहीं आने दिए, फैक्ट्स हैं ये तो, इसमें कोई बहस सुनना सुन रहे हैं, आपको भेज वही रहे हैं.
नहीं मैं एक ही सेंटेंस कहना चाह रहा था. If my lord permits to, only a small part of property is gifted, not entire property.
हाँ ठीक है,
He had
ठीक है,
been paying extra duty in respect of other property.
ठीक है, ठीक है, ठीक है. बाकी प्रॉपर्टी कहाँ चली गई?
सर ये जिस प्रॉपर्टी के संबंध में
अरे,
आई एम लिमिटेड टू दैट.
ठीक ठीक ठीक.
बाकी प्रॉपर्टीज लिटिगेशन में है. फर्स्ट
हाँ
अपील
ठीक है, होगी.
296 and 437.
हाँ ठीक है. Since all these aspects need detailed examination and petitioner has a remedy of making representation under section 18 of the Act of 1968 and thereafter filing appeal to the High Court in terms of the provisions contained in section 18-C of the Act of 1968, writ petition is not maintainable. Petitioner is relegated to avail alternate statutory remedy. Full stop. For a period of 15 days, since a coordinate bench of this court had granted interim protection that will continue in favor of the petitioner so that he may move an appropriate application before the competent authority and pray for stay before that authority. After 15 days from today, that stay shall stand vacated automatically.
There is one more humble prayer I have to make. That they should decide my appeal within a fixed period. मतलब सालों पड़ी रहती. जो आमिर खान का केस हुआ था 2005 एससीसी में, उसमें सालों तक पड़ी थी. Then the Supreme Court interfered into that.
सुप्रीम कोर्ट अभी आपके लिए खुला हुआ है, जाइएगा. जो चीज मेरे सामने नहीं, एक बात समझिए प्लीज, पंचोली साहब आप समझिए. प्रोप्राइटरी एक चीज होती है, जो चीज मेरे सामने नहीं उसकी मैं कैसे एंटिसिपेशन में ऑर्डर कर सकता हूँ पंचोली साहब को प्लीज करने के लिए?
नहीं मैं कह रहा हूँ फिक्स पीरियड में डिसाइड कर.
कैसे? जब अपील फाइल होगी, आप हो सकता है आपका पक्षकार गिव अप कर दे, अपील ही फाइल ना करे, और अपील फाइल करता है तो अथॉरिटी को आप एप्लीकेशन लगाइएगा. ठीक है, चलिए. ये फहद खान भी वही है 3.1, सेम ऑर्डर कर दीजिए. चलिए.